What's up, everybody? OldSchoolNYCGamer here once again with another video. And today, everybody, I'm just going to be showing you a little project that I've been dying to do here for the last few weeks, and I want to do it on video. Now, of course, for all you retro gaming collectors, especially who collect cartridges, whether it be the NES, Super Nintendo, Atari, Sega Genesis, we always come across a bunch of these, especially when you get them in a lot. Especially if it's a game that you really, really treasure and you see something like this. Yeah. Not too pleasing. This is a really good game, mind you. Does play fine, but of course, got some of that dreaded, label rip, and I bet you this was a rental sticker. And the person who had to rip it off like a dumb moron. But never fret. Thanks to the internet, of all places, yes, the internet was what you're using right now to see this, I came across, you can basically just Google certain labels, like for NES, whatever. You possibly might find the one you're looking for. Like I said, this is for people who really just want to, make their cartridges look a little more presentable. I really do not recommend doing it unless you really care about the value of your cart. But luckily enough, I had to do a little photoshopping, and of course, if you see here, where you see the elbow here for Gunstar Heroes, I didn't have that much of the 100% Photoshop skills, so I came up with this. So yeah, definitely a difference here. So I'm just going to show you exactly how I'm going to get this stuff off. You see here, it's just a little bottle of Goo Gone that I'm using. Now, of course, since this stuff here is quite it's been here, for a good 20 years. This stuff is not easily going to come off with one, with a little bit of time. So what I'm going to have to do is mainly let this sit possibly overnight. Now, if you're really like that worried about the card itself, if you have the tools for it, I would recommend opening up the shell and taking out the board, but it should be fine since it's not touching the contacts. So I'm going to let this sit overnight, and hopefully we'll get the stuff off, and I'll show you the rest of the process, and I will be right back. So I'm back, everybody, and here is the finished product after an hour and a half of just leaving the Goo Gone on the label. It came off a little easy, but not as easy as I thought, so I kind of had to dig in a little bit with my nail to get the rest of it out. But, not bad, just a couple little fingerprint marks, which is not a humongous deal because that's not going to matter after what I'm about to do next. So, the cart's right here, and this is the label that I printed off that I showed you earlier. Now, little tip, just to make it easier on yourself, before you full-on do it, I would recommend that you fold it if you have the precise way of folding it. So all you really would have to do is just make sure it lines up like that, and then you stick it on, and there you go. So first off, what you need to do is, basic glue stick would work for this. You can use two-sided tape, but it is kind of a pain if you want to replace the label. So a glue stick is the best way to go here. So what I'm going to do, just make sure, evenly coat this. Don't leave any, smudges. Not necessarily smudges, just a lot of bumps on the label itself, or I should say the cart. You don't want to have no gunk marks or anything like that, but as even of a layer as you can with the glue stick would help. I'm just trying to see this through the light myself here to make sure I got it as best as I can here. Okay, so that's about, looks pretty good. Now just make sure you get the face part right here. Okay, I should be good right there. So now, next off, we do the same thing with the label here. Don't worry, as long as you really left an increased dent or folding dent in the label itself, you should be fine. Having a light shine on this actually does help. So mind me here, it's got a little bit of that goo on my finger. No pun intended here. Okay, so that looks just about ready to go here. So without further ado, I'm just going to show you exactly what I said before. Just make sure you bend the label right here as I'm showing you, and just gently line it up, press down, and the same thing here. And there you go, people. That's about it. I would say, really recommend try to bend it as best you can. But, once it dries, see if any of this stuff right here, you just take a little bit of water, very gently light damp a towel, just take it right off, and there you go, people. So yeah, compare that to what it looked like before. It was definitely night and day. And I actually also went over to Video Games New York, where surprisingly they do have the universal video game cases. I definitely needed to get one of these. So there you go. So now I have a semi-complete Gunstar Heroes, and there you go. And that's about it, everybody. So, if you have any questions or comments, always leave them down at the bottom, and you can check me out on Facebook and Twitter. And that's about it. Have a good one, everybody, and take care. Cheers.